Hello students, I am Ritika Vajpayee, Assistant Professor at Axis Institute of Planning and Management. In the lecture series of Business Environment in Legal Aspects of the Business, till now we have covered all the macro factors, the strategies which can be used to to analyze the business, the global environment, the socio-cultural environment and its impact on the business, like everything we have covered. Now, in this lecture we will talk about the comparative analysis of business environment between the India and other countries. Okay. So, for this particular topic, like a comparison between the India and other country in reference of the business environment, I have taken Canada to compare with the India. Okay. So, this is actually a comparative analysis of the business environment in Canada and India. Okay, so now let us understand the differences in the external factors and the internal factors between these two countries. Okay, so first of all, I will discuss the external factors, the comparison. We will compare some of the external factors of India and Canada. Okay, so very first external factor. Now let me remind you all again that whenever we talk about the external factors, so we actually talk about the political factor. Okay, the political factor, the economic factor, that is the part of the external environment. Then we have the technological factor. Okay, so we have the legal factor as well. Okay, so basically we have the political factor, environmental factor, technological factor, we have the legal factor, we have the social and the cultural factor, that is combinedly known as the socio-cultural factor, right. Okay, so I hope you all have detailed understanding of all these factors. So, these are basically the external factor, and we will compare the business environment of India and Canada with in reference to all these factors. So, the very first external factor that I have taken here is the political factor. Okay, so political forces in Indian and Canadian context. Okay, so first of all we will see the Canadian context. In context to Canadian business environment, the nation is subjected to capitalist economy, right. However, government plays a pivotal role in political acquisitions. तो अगर हम कनाडा की बात करें और पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर को कंसीडर करते हैं, सो कनाडा की जो इकोनॉमी है दैट इज़ बेसिकली सब्जेक्टेड टू द कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी. इफ़ यू रिमेंबर, हमने जब इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम के मैक्रो फैक्टर्स को डिस्कस किया था, सो वेरी फर्स्ट फैक्टर वाज द इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम ओनली, राइट, वेयर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड the capitalist economy, the socialist economy and the mixed economy, right. We have discussed about the three economic systems. सो ये थ्री इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम में अगर हम कैनेडियन कंटेक्स्ट में बात करें तो कनाडा की जो इकोनॉमी है बेसिकली इट इज़ अ कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी, बट the government actually plays a pivotal role in the political acquisitions in Canada. Like this is a kind of the capitalist economy, but we cannot say that it is a purely capitalist economy, because government is actually having the intervention, right, to some extent. So, in Canadian context, government has a strong involvement in protection and promotion of the industries, right. It is government is having the strong involvement in the promotion of the industries. ओके, सो पहला जो पॉइंट था पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर में वो इकोनॉमिक इन्वायरमेंट के आपका इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम के बारे में हो गया. तो हमें ये पता चला कि जो कैनेडियन कंटेक्स्ट में अगर हम बात करें तो गवर्नमेंट इज़ एक्चुअली हैविंग द स्ट्रॉन्ग इन्वॉल्वमेंट इन द प्रोडक्शन एंड प्रमोशन इन द इंडस्ट्रीज इन कैनेडा. ओके, नाउ लेट्स टॉक ऑन द टैरिफ्स. सो टैरिफ्स ऑन द गुड्स दैट आर इम्पोर्टेड are articulated for protecting the domestic business. Okay, so by causing the costing of the international goods to rise further in comparison to Canadian products. So the tariff on goods that are imported आर दे आर्टिकुलेटेड फॉर प्रोटेक्टिंग द डोमेस्टिक बिजनेस, ठीक है, जो जितने भी टैरिफ्स चूज़ किए जाते हैं, जो टैरिफ्स हैं एंड द कोटाज हैं विच आर यूज्ड फॉर द इम्पोर्टिंग, दैट आर एक्चुअली आर्टिकुलेटेड जस्ट बिकॉज टू प्रोटेक्ट द बिजनेस and by causing the costing of international goods and to rise in comparison to the Canadian products, right. So now, and government in the Canada also takes active participation in offering direct incentive for industrial advancement and development of the resources, okay. So Canada में government का क्या initiative रहता है कि in Canada government actually take the direct initiative, it is not something like the indirect, but it is actually a direct initiative and a direct involvement of the government in Canada for the promotion of the business, okay, and for the development of the resources. Now let's अंडरस्टैंड द इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट, ये हमारे इंडिया में पॉलिटिकल फोर्सेस किस तरह वर्क करते हैं, व्हाट इज़ एक्चुअली द रोल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इन द डेवलपमेंट एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज. इन इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट द volatile political environment has a strong influence on the Indian business format, right. First of all, if we talk about the economic system, so in India, which economic system we used to follow? We used to follow the mixed economic system, right. Okay. In India, we follow the mixed economic system, like the public and the private sectors both go hand by hand. So there is a volatile political environment and has a strong influence on the Indian business format. जो इंडिया का business format है उसमें political influence बहुत ही ज़्यादा है, ठीक है. And after the Pulwama attack, national security is considered as a top priority for the government. So in India, the national security is actually the top priority and business comes after that. This is saying that, right. So any situation of military oriented retaliation could be resulting in swift outflowing of the foreign investment. Like this is actually depicting what, that there is actually a type of the situation of the uncertainty. There is very much uncertainty in the India, right. Like any of there are number of the cases when the national security becomes a question and government have to shift its focus from business to the national security, right. So there is actually, this is depicting what, that there is lot of uncertainty in the India in from the business point of view, and this, when there is a shift of government from the business, from the foreign investments to the national security, so it actually affects the global environment and it actually affects the foreign investment. Okay, so while next point is, while the government has been supportive towards the domestic and international business acquisition owing to tax relaxation and how other legislative facilities and the acts of the corruption and the malfeasance has affected the business perspective of India to a wide context, right. Okay, now let us talk about the economic forces in the Canadian and the Indian context, right. We discussed about the political forces and now it is time for the economic forces. Let us talk about the Canadian context first. The GDP of like this is a kind of the mixed. The GDP of India is 4.7% in comparison to 1.44 of the Canadian economy. The India की GDP है that is 4.7% and Canada की GDP के हम बात करें तो it is only 1.44% of Canadian economy, which is clearly suggesting the advancement stages of the Indian economy. तो इससे हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि इंडिया की GDP ऑलरेडी कनाडा से काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. In comparison of the 1.44%, we are having the 4.7%, which is actually a high rate of the GDP. GDP stands for the gross domestic product. Okay, So, in that way we can say that India is actually at the stage of the advancement, okay, like it is actually doing well with the help of the GDP and the GDP and the PCI, the NI, these are what? These are the indicators, the GDP, I hope you must have heard about it, the GDP, GNP, PCI and NI. This is what? GDP stands for the gross domestic product, GNP stands for the gross national product, PCI stands for the per capita income and NI stands for what? NI stands for the national income. These are what? These are said to be the economic indicators, okay, just remember it. Economic indicator, अगर ये देखना है हमें कि कोई इकोनॉमी कितना अच्छा कर रही है, इकोनॉमी का ओवरऑल परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, तो इसको आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए हमें क्या करना होगा, हमें इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स देखने होंगे एंड दीज इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स आर व्हाट? द जीडीपी, जेएनपी, पीसीआई एंड एनआई. ओके, सो पहला इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर ये कहता है कि इंडिया इज एक्चुअली डूइंग वेल एंड इज एट द एज ऑफ द एडवांसमेंट बिकॉज इंडिया इज हैविंग द 4.7% जीडीपी इन कंपैरिजन ऑफ द 1.44% of the Canadian GDP, right? Okay, now coming towards the second point, the inflation rate of India is 4.09%, which is high than that of Canada, which is 2.24%. So, in India the inflation rate is what? It is 4.09%, and if you talk about the Canada, so the inflation rate is 2.24%. So, thus suggesting it it have hampered the economic growth of the Indian economy. This high inflation rate has actually hampered the growth of the Indian economy. If we consider the GDP, so we can say that India is doing well, but if we see the inflation rate, this is also the indicator of the economic growth. So, if we see the inflation rate, this is saying what? That this high inflation rate is actually a hurdle in the growth of the Indian economy. But because the high inflation rate is clearly saying that that people of India are not having the enough purchasing power. Okay, so if the people of India are not having the enough purchasing power, so it means actually the economy is not growing. This is actually a big hurdle for the growth of the economy, and actually India needs to focus on this inflation rate. Inflation is good for every economy, right? If there will be no inflation, the economy cannot grow, but this is actually very high for the India, like 4.09% inflation is actually very high, and it is becoming negative for the India, right? Okay, so the futuristic aspect of the economy in Canada in the area of speculation. So, in the area of speculation, there is a futuristic approach of aspect of the Canadian economy. The aspect of distinguishing amongst the short-term alternations within the domestic aspects of the economy and present trends within the system of enterprise businesses will have a strong impact on the Canadian economy. This is saying what? That the aspects of distinguishing among the short-term alternative with domestic aspect and the present trend with the with the enterprise business will actually have a strong impact of the economy, and this is going in the positive sense for the Canadian economy, right? Now, let us talk about the Indian context. So, in Indian context, the rate of unemployment is still a concern for Indian business environment. The rate of unemployment is still very high. If you remember the lecture which was on the economic environment, so in that particular I have discussed about the unemployment rate. So, as per, if you remember, as per the data of 24th May 2021, the rate of unemployment was total 10%, right. So, the unemployment rate is actually very high in the India, and that is a big problem for the Indians, right, for the Indian economy. For the population it is definitely a big problem, but for the overall economy it is also a big problem that the rate of unemployment is actually very high, right. Irrespective of having a strong capital, Canadian banks needs to be competitive, increase the size and reduce the complicated regulations for gaining competitive supremacy. अब अगर हम बात करें कैनेडियन इकोनॉमी की तो वहाँ का क्या प्रॉब्लम है, they actually needs to their banks, the Canadian banks actually need to be competitive and they have to increase their size and they have to do what, they have to reduce the complicated regulations. The regulations, this is saying that in Canadian banks there are very tough and the strong regulations, which is again a problem for the Canadian economy. So they actually needs to to reduce their complicated regulations for gaining the competitive supremacy. Okay, so after the political and the economic forces, now let us talk about the social forces in the Canadian and Indian context. Let us talk about the Canadian context first. So, as far as the the Canadian society is considered, it can be stated that Canada holds the second spot out of the 17 nations in educational context. Canada is actually holding the second spot out of the 17 nations. Canada is having the second place, right, in educational context. Therefore, it could be stated that Canada has a prospective system of public education which refers to the basic criteria of entering a workplace. So, we can say the Canadian citizens are actually fulfilling the basic criteria of entering into a workplace. They are actually much much educated in comparison of the of our country. So, as far as this was what, this was the Canadian aspect, that they are actually having the second spot out of the 17 nations. Now, if you talk about the India, so as far Indian aspect is concerned, the overall education system is improving. However, the rural regions still lack the needful level of literacy, right. Rural regions are actually lacking behind in the terms of the literacy, and there is also not 100% literacy in the urban regions, right. And there is this is due to the unbalanced regional growth. Everyone knows that this is just because the unbalanced regional growth. There is there are number of the lacunas. There is the gap between the rich and poor is very high. There is very unbalanced growth in the India. In this context, Canada is leading in the educational context. So, अगर हम education के level पे बात करें, so Canada is actually leading in this context with highest rate of university and school completing completing rates, which can contribute effectively towards initiation of a productive environment of business. However, the completion of university and school completion rate are mixed in the Indian context. So, the number of people who are entering, who are going to the schools and the universities are mixed in the Canadian and the Indian context. But if we see the overall picture, so Canada is actually leading in this and it is having a good place and a good stand in educational context. So, if the ill reputation is not checked, it might have a negative impact on the overall image of the Canadian business environment. So, like educational level is good, that is a positive point for the Canadian context, but to to analyze the overall the overall image is very much important. Similarly, the Indian business environment is also characterized by poor CSR practices. And while focusing mainly on organizational productivity, so poor CSR practices हमारे इंडिया में है, इसका एक बहुत इसका reason क्या है? Because the ultimate aim is to make the profit. No one is concerned about the social benefits. That's why we can say that there is unbalanced regional growth in India. That's the biggest problem. So, for sorting out that, government has recently introduced approx 2 years back a law related to the CSR. CSR stands for the corporate social responsibility. Like for every business, for every corporate, it is good to earn the profit. If you are running a business, so you are running a business just because to make the profit, it is good, but you do not have to forget the society which is actually paying for your products, right. A business is producing goods and it is providing services to the society, and society is paying for that. So, business also have to remember the society, it should not forget it. That is why, because somewhere business is actually eliminating this phenomena, that society is actually something which is purchasing our products, which is paying to us, right. That is why there is very poor CSR or poor corporate social responsibility practices in the India. That is actually a big concern for the India. Now, let us talk about the technological forces in India and the Canadian context. So, if we talk about the Canadian context, on a traditional note, it has observed that the economy of Canada is based on the resources. Okay, economy of Canada is based on the resources. Irrespective of the dependency on natural based resources, there has been a speculation that the country needs to catch up in the area of technological development and innovation. In this context, the high tech sectors are gaining popularity in leading edge aspects of the R&D, of the research and development. So, they are actually focusing on the research and development, and they are actually a economy which is based on the resources. So, rapid advancement of the information and communication technology, the aeronautics, the nanotechnology, the biotechnology, etc., have contributed towards the technological advancement of Canada. Okay. So, this is something, the number of high tech things are actually developing in the Canada. This is actually helping Canadian economy to grow. Now, if we talk about the technological factor in Indian context. So, in Indian context, the Indian business environment technological advancement was experiencing a slow progress until the year 2016. When the Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi promised to transform India into a digital society. 2016 के पहले एक्चुअली इंडिया का जो टेक्नोलॉजिकल ग्रोथ था, जो टेक्नोलॉजिकल वी कैन से द अपग्रेडेशन, टेक्नोलॉजिकल अपग्रेडेशन और द एडाप्शन, it was actually very slow. But in the 2016, with the announcement by a Prime Minister for transforming India into a digital society, it has actually has gained a pace, and emphasis on the e-government, rapid expansion in the ICT and emphasis on the artificial intelligence are promising from the technological perspective of Indian business environment. So, if we compare India from 2016 to 2021, we will find big differences. Now, let us talk about the competitive forces in Indian and Canadian context. Okay. So, first of all we will discuss about the Canadian context. Okay. So, apart from the competitive rivalry between the companies, there has been instances of monopoly affecting industry concentration. We are talking about the Canadian context, right. It means there is the situation of the monopolistic competition. So, in a market monopoly, companies can tend set prices they prefer for colluding with other types of the business activities. When individual starts thinking regarding the Canadian economy, they often start thinking of the natural resources. Okay. So, however, owing to the continuous business environment, depletion of the resources has been evidential, particularly with the industrial belt in the Canadian economy. Okay, now let us talk about the Indian context. So, in Indian context, irrespective of the prioritizing clean consumption of energy, use of coal is still prevalent, particularly in rural regions, right. We are talking about we are talking about the the clean consumption of the economy. we are concerned about the climate change, but still in the rural regions the consumption of coal is still prevalent. Animal protecting companies have also experienced a positive impact, as several individuals have started reframing themselves from purchasing such type of products, and there is speculation that the resources sector of the Canada is under the period of the transition. Okay. So, this is what all these forces were related to the external. Okay. All these were the external forces. Now, let us talk about the internal forces. The first is labor involvement. Both India and the Canada, the overall business environment revolve around ever changing demands for the skilled and the knowledgeable workforce and the laborers. So, this is the situation of every economy, right. If we talk about the Canada, we talk about the China, we talk about the USA. So, this is the situation every economy is revolving around it. One significant similarity is overlapping of the labor market for highly skilled and medium skilled workforces in the different occupational and geographical areas. In both the markets, higher demands are there of technology adept workforce in various industrial and service sectors. Therefore, from overall perspective, demand of labor with varied skill is high in both the India and Canada, where higher academic background is desirable for higher designation and job responsibility. This can be also correlated with the educational levels, right, that I have discussed. Okay. So, let us talk about the business strategies. Core economic operation of business is concerned with the generation of property of the property management in business, and in this regard IPR plays an important role. For domestic and international business, both the countries have developed their strong IPR to ensure the successful business operations. Okay. Now, let us talk about the future initiatives. Canadian government has revised the trade policies and tax allocations. It has ensured the fact that the country is open for prospective businesses. Considering the business areas such as the AI, it has been found that the country is experiencing a future dominance with the AI enabled facilities, right. AI with augmented okay, the country has created the business environment in such a manner that it is combining the experts, businesses, universities and the non-profit to the work together and solve the problem. So, this is the futuristic initiative which is taken by the Canadian government. Now, if we talk about so in this regard, it has been found that India in recent time has revised its business related policies, and thus a major investment has been performed in the country from the end of the multinational organizations, and India has created a chance of sustainability maintenance in the country for businesses development with the promotion of the acceptable living standards along with the urban infrastructure and unblocking the potential of women. Okay, so thus Canada and India both can experience a possible better future in the business. Okay, so this was all about the comparison between the India and Indian and the Canadian economy in their business environment. This is the reference of the research paper which I have taken for making this presentation. Thank you everyone.